In the United Kingdom, new variants or strains of the coronavirus have been discovered. Moving fast, the British virus variant has about 20 mutations. It is rapidly replacing other versions of the virus as per the latest coming in. Some of those mutations have already been shown in the lab to increase the ability of the virus to infect cells. The new virus variant is causing concern in the UK and other countries. In India, there is no major change or mutation in the virus strain as of now. But since many countries have started vaccination campaigns, the bigger concern here is drug resistance. Let's break it down for you. A virus mutates by changing the proteins on its surface to help it escape from drugs or the immune system. Experts say that the possibility that new strains will be resistant to the existing vaccines are low, but not inexistent, not completely inexistent. This as inoculation is underway in the US and the UK, which started administering Pfizer-BioNTech's COVID-19 vaccine this month. The US added a second COVID-19 vaccine to its arsenal after the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, authorized emergency rollout of the vaccine developed by Moderna. Following a 2-month-long review, Switzerland is the latest now to approve the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for use. Russia and China have started inoculating their citizens for months with several different vaccines still undergoing late-stage trials. Bahrain and Canada have also approved the Pfizer vaccine for emergency use. The first shipment of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccines have already landed in Israel. Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine is also likely to get regulatory approval from the UK's independent regulator by the end of this month. There are several countries that are gearing up for respective inoculation drives. Serum Institute of India is likely to start selling its COVID-19 vaccine in the open market after March to April next year. Malaysia expects to receive the first batch of the COVID-19 vaccines jointly developed by Pfizer and BioNTech in February. The Argentine president has signed an agreement with Russia to receive the Sputnik V vaccine. Pfizer vaccine deliveries are planned for the first half of next year in Japan, while the vaccine delivery to poor countries will be starting in early 2021. Joining us on the broadcast is Dr. Julian Tang, Honorary Associate Professor and Clinical Biologist from the University of Leicester, UK. Thanks very much, Doctor, for speaking with us. First up, if you can elaborate for us how concerning this new variant of the virus is, especially when it comes to drug resistance at a time when vaccine rollouts are taking place in several parts.
So at the moment, this virus is showing some mutations in the S protein, the spike glycoprotein, and the only drug we have available really is remdesivir, which really attacks the RNA polymerase. So that shouldn't be affected by the spike mutations. The vaccine-induced antibody binding, the antibodies induced by the vaccine, we think should still be effective. These are relatively small changes in the spike glycoprotein structure, and we think the antibody should still bind and protect people from the vaccine.
But will the new variant undermine vaccines and their efficacy, according to you?
Well, we still have a lot to learn about this new variant. The mutations that we know about on the spike glycoprotein seem not to be major enough, dramatic enough to actually stop any antibodies from binding. So at the moment, we don't think the vaccine will be affected too badly by this new variant. The main issue is the way it's spreading, the rapidity of its spread may overwhelm healthcare services and infect the vulnerable and those with comorbidities before they get the vaccine.
Explain to us the transmissible concern that has already been raised by the Prime Minister, where he says that this virus is 70% more transmissible as compared to the earlier strain. What more do we know at this point about this new mutation?
Well, the data, I've not seen the data for this 70% figure. I think what they've done is that they've sequenced a lot of samples, positive samples from last week, various weeks, and found that this new mutation is more representative in those sequenced samples over time. And that's where they're getting this 70% transmissibility from. But of course, transmission can also occur by close contact, crowded streets, crowded shopping centres, etc., etc. But if the transmissibility is increased and it is confirmed, the main issue is really overwhelming of the healthcare service, the NHS, and also the virus may reach those who are vulnerable and elderly before we can vaccinate them. I think that's the main concern in the UK and also in Europe, the overwhelming of the healthcare services and not reaching those vulnerable people before we can vaccinate them.
Dr. Julian Tang, appreciate very much joining us on the broadcast with those perspectives.